All right, welcome to the Fitness After 40 podcast. I'm your host, Josh Proch, and today we are going to talk a little bit. We're going to build on a topic we had the other week or the couple podcasts ago here about sleep. And I'm going to talk to you guys just a little bit about quality of sleep and things like that, and how to give you some tips on how to improve that, and then also how to tell if you aren't getting enough sleep or if your quality of sleep isn't quite where it should be. So we'll start in here. So the hours that you're asleep, or why is sleep so important, I guess is where I should start here with things, is when you're asleep, that's basically when your body, all the good stuff happens in your body. That's your body's time to heal itself, recover, everything like that. Our cells repair and regenerate. Our hormones, they function better. They get to regulate. We find there's less aches and pains when people are getting enough sleep. And when we're going for changes in body appearance, whether it's adding muscle or losing fat, we find that those improve as well when we're getting good quality sleep. So again, it's not to say that by just getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night of good quality sleep is the complete answer and is going to solve everything for everybody. But for some people, this could be a missing link, and it could be the reason that people aren't getting the results that they're looking for. So, we see that for a lot of people, they're not getting even 7 hours each night. But we find that there are those that are getting, 7, 8, some even 9 hours, but they find that they have a hard time falling asleep. They're very restless. They're up a few times through the night. They just don't have very good quality of sleep. And that's common, especially it seems to be more common as you get older, especially with women. I would say more so than men. But there are some things that you can do to help improve that quality of the sleep. It's not easy to do, but it can help. And the first thing is basically allowing for yourself to get enough sleep. So this means not staying up super late and watching one more show on Netflix, or reading all night long, or whatever that's keeping you up. So there's a time where all that stuff's fine, but there's a time when it's like, all right, we just need to go to sleep now. And then that time when you go to sleep ideally will be within the same 30 minutes every night. It's very hard to do that, especially with our lives and everything that we have going on. But in a perfect world, that's what's ideal. And then waking up around the same time every day. Again, a lot of times that's not easy, but what a lot of people will do is Monday through Friday is relatively the same during their work week, but then Friday night, Saturday night, they're up late or later, and then Saturday morning and Sunday, they are sleeping in. And now what that does is especially on Sunday, when you've slept in, now when it's time for you to go to bed because you got to get up for work the next morning, you have a much harder time falling asleep. So again, that night the sleep isn't as good, and then that rolls into Tuesday, rolls into Wednesday, and it basically just compounds, and you never really catch up on sleep. It's not like I can skimp during the week and then just sleep a bunch on the weekends. It just doesn't work that way. We need to keep that consistent, and even if it's less than like that 7 and 8 hours, even at 6 hours, if you keep that schedule consistent, your body will do better with that. This is something that we've seen research-wise, but again, there's going to be variances for every person, but there seems to be a correlation with the hours spent asleep before midnight making a bigger difference than the hours spent asleep after midnight. For whatever reason, the body's circadian rhythms, all that sort of stuff, they tend to, better things happen before midnight when you're asleep than after midnight. Why that is, I have no idea, but that is something that they found in the research and things like that. The next big one here is the blue light from devices. So we're we're always in front of a device anymore now. whether it's your iPad, your iPhone, the TV, things like that. These devices are all emitting off a blue light, and what this light does is it's very similar to the early morning sunshine, and that signals to your brain like, hey, it's time to wake up. So when you're using these before bed, your brain is getting a signal sent to it that says, hey, I need to wake up, when really it should be going to sleep, and that can affect the quality of your sleep, your ability to fall asleep, and things like that. So if you do like using these, what I recommend is using like blue light glasses, things like that. If you don't have to use those, reading like a physical book, things like that, whatever your unwinding is, that's even better. Not eating before you go to bed is big, because when you just have a full belly, that can just kind of disrupt your sleep a little bit. Keeping the bedroom cool. A lot of people notice that when they keep it cool, usually around like 68 degrees, they sleep a little bit better than when it's like warmer. Keeping it quiet, not having a lot of artificial light, so like blackout curtains are usually a good idea there. Avoiding alcohol before going to bed, so I usually like to recommend stopping alcohol about 3 hours before you go to sleep. Again, that isn't always going to happen. I don't always follow that rule, but you do find that alcohol definitely disrupts your sleep and the quality of it. And then we've also found, there's not a whole lot of research on this, but we found just from working with people over the years that fish oil will help them sleep better, especially when it's taken right before bed. So that's something that you could try there as well too. If you have any concerns with that, check with your doctor, things like that. And then the other question I'll get asked from people a lot of times is like, well, how do I tell if I'm like low on sleep? Typically you'll know that's it. But if you find that you're always waking up tired, you're more irritable than normal, you're having trouble concentrating, or you're very forgetful, your like job performance or work performance is decreasing, you're just not motivated, if you find that you have stiff and achy joints, this is a big one here. A lot of people that have joint issues, when they're not getting enough sleep, it just makes those problems worse. And then with your workouts, if you find that you're just always sore afterwards, you're not recovering as well, if you feel like sluggish, or like I always say like your legs are in sand, you're not like as quick or explosive, or it just feels like you're moving in slow motion, that can all be a sign that you're not getting enough sleep, or you're not getting very good quality of sleep. And along with that, if your strength is decreasing, if you're starting to gain body fat or lose muscle, all those can be signs that checking the sleep. It also could be a lot of other things, but that could be one that's kind of easy. So again, I know a lot of people, you've probably heard this before, with the importance of getting sleep and things like that, but it's something that a lot of people just don't do. So, but it can help a lot with your fitness and just making you feel better and being healthier and everything like that. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll be back next week. We'll have some more tips with you, and till next time, I will talk to you guys then. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and rate and review us.